Hey Floss Tube, it's Robin. Good to see everybody. Thank you for coming to watch my channel. If you're new, thank you. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. Thank you to everyone who has recommended my channel. I did have a little bump in subscribers, so that was exciting. I appreciate it. It's been about a month, which seems to work out pretty good. So I can give you my updates for April and for the first few days of May. I have 2 new finishes, not fully finished, but 2 finishes, and one of them I was so excited to finish. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen my Enchanted Mermaid is finished. I have 2 new starts, had to replace the 2 I finished, and I think that's a total of 11 whips. I try to keep my whips around 10 to 15 max. If I get too many, it stresses me out, and I don't know what to work on first, so I just don't work on any of them. So that works. This works out good for me. So anyway, I have some haul, little life update, nothing major, and then we'll just take a look at what I have. So I'll show you my finishes first. The first one I have is a Halloween. This is Halloween Sampler by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And it's stitched on 28 count Wicked by Bestitchme. It's a very periwinkle. It's a very periwinkle purple. So that is that. Let me bring it up closer. Kind of washes out a little bit when you get closer because it's really that color purple. So I was very glad to have this one finished. There's a lot of stitches in there, but I had originally bought this to frame in the Joann Fabrics bat. It's a round metal bat frame, and it's too small. I didn't leave enough fabric at the top to stretch it over a piece of mat board to go into the frame. So it's too small. So I'll have to finish it a different way. I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably just frame it. May put it in a hoop and frame it. Don't know. But it's still glad it's finished. So that was my first my first finish. My second finish is my Enchanted Mermaid. And she's done. She's done. She's done. She's all blingy and finished and all her beads. And oh, I was so happy to get her done. Let me bring her up close. You have to see how much beads and bling she has. I posted it on Instagram. I had somebody, because I took a lot of close-up pictures, and I had somebody say, I've never seen her that up close. Most people hold, of course you want to see it like this, but this, whoever the stitcher was, she said, I've never seen her up close. So I'm going to bring her in close, up close and personal. So you can see she has got beads, blingy, her whole top of her dress pretty much is beads. The middle part of her is cranic beads, treasures. She's actually heavy holding it. Her tail, lots of beads, lots of treasures. She is absolutely gorgeous. The fabric is kind of a light blue. It's got some modeling in it. It's hard to tell. But it does have a little bit of modeling. It's a light, just a baby sky blue. She's just beautiful though. Oh, she's gorgeous. I was so glad to get her done. I was really tired of beading. I really got tired of beading. Next time I do one with beads, of course, Floss Tube, itchy nose. Next time I bead something, I may bead as I go because I didn't like waiting till the end to bead. I got tired of beads. So she's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Can't wait to get her on my wall. I did substitute some beads. So this pattern was from 2005, I think was the original. And some of the Mill Hill beads and treasures are no longer available. So I reached out to Mindy Daigle. She has the Mira group on Facebook, and she has all the bead packets and everything. You can purchase some from her. and she had the substitutions that Mill Hill recommended. So I bought them, and I didn't like some of them. The ones down here, hang on just a second. These right here, even though they do sparkle a lot in this light, I mean, I can see them in the camera. The colors are not something I would have chosen. Right here, there's some dangly beads. The pattern called for lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of beads. And by that point, I was tired of beads. And so I used the dangles and put that on there. These right here are my own choosing. So let me bring it in close. So these on her halo, these right here are my substitutions, or my additions, my creative liberty. This, I gave her an earring. These are the called for, and these are the called for. All of the silver beads in here are not called for. I didn't like the ones that were called for are more of a clear. And then down here in her mermaid tail, all of these were like an opaque white or frosted. I think Mill Hill's, they're frosted. And I didn't like them. I tried them, I didn't like them. So I went digging through my stash and found some seed beads that sparkled, added what I liked. And if I had to do it again, I would not buy the bead packet until I got ready to bead, unless I was beading as I go. Because on the chart it says, use the recommended beads or use beads that you feel are worthy of your stitching. Well, I will take that to heart next time and select beads once I stitch some of it, because like I said, these beads right here are a brown color. If I'd used a different color, it would have just been just as pretty. And then right here in her dress, there's some are they Metallica beads? I think they were way overpriced than what I thought they were worth. But anyway, that's what she called for. I'm not knocking the artist by any stretch of imagination. It's just not what I would have chosen. It does show up good here because it does look kind of, you know, it gives a little sparkle. But you can buy other beads at the craft store, your bead store, online, that are not nearly as expensive as Mill Hill's little pack of 2 beads or 1 bead in a pack. They're $3 or $4 or $5. And I would have just chosen different beads. But regardless, she's gorgeous. I'm so happy to have her done. I'm looking for an antique, very, not really ornate, but with lots of filigree in it. Don't know if I'll do white or if I'm going to do a gold color. Hadn't decided yet. So I'm on the hunt for an antique frame. So I need to go junking and see what I can find. I'm going out of town this weekend to visit my mom, so we'll probably go hit a couple of thrift stores. So I have my measurements. I'll probably take her with me to show my mom because she was excited I finished her too. So I'm so excited. Okay, I know you're probably tired of seeing her, so she's gorgeous. Okay, glad she's done. Okay, whips. First one is Zucca Pumpkin. So this is the original Alessandra Adelaide. I always have trouble pronouncing that one. So this is the original design, and I did a color conversion. I did a white pumpkin on a very mottled aqua fabric. This is where I am. And I'll put a picture, words. I'll put a photo up here of where I was last time, and this is where I am now. This fabric is 28 Count Wicked by Bestitchme. And I only have this side left to go. So I'll have a good chunk of this fabric left over. Here, let me do this. There. So I'll have a good chunk of this fabric left over to probably do a couple smalls. but the color conversion I did is Weeks Dye Works something, I don't know. It is Weeks Dye Works Grits. And then the Bestitchme fabric. It's pretty. It doesn't show up as much on camera as it does in real life. The fabric is modeled, but this shows, it's kind of ghosting a little bit, but in real life it's not. I do have all of my whips in markup by RXP. So this one is at 70.06%. So hopefully that will be a finish before too long. All right, my next whip is Lighthouse by Cottage Garden Samplings. Oh, I don't have that picture in there. I do have it marked up, but I don't have the picture. So this is the Lighthouse Fabulous House Series, number 8, Cottage Garden Samplings. Everybody's seen this one. So this is my progress. I'm stitching this on 28 count something by Bestitchme. All of my whips are on Bestitchme fabric that are hand dyed fabrics. Just because I like Brandy's fabrics. I was on her Fabric of the Month Club, and that's what I got started with. So this fabric is Aquarius. Yep, Aquarius. 28 count Joblin Aquarius. I think I was stitching over here, but I'll put a picture up here. So this one is at 21.46%. So got a ways to go on that one. All right. The next one is a stitching shelf, which is artwork by Amy Stewart, and it's a Heaven and Earth Designs. It's one of 3 full coverages I have going now. 3, yeah, like I'm gonna live forever, right? So here's the stitching shelf. There's 375,000 plus stitches, which will take me years, but that's okay. It's fun. It's really pretty to see when you start seeing parts of the chart. Like I'm just way up here in this top corner, but I've already started with this book right here that you can see. You can already start to delineate different symbols. This gold key right here, I can see parts of it starting to develop where my stitching is. So, but yeah, this is a stitching shelf by, oh, I'm at, it's all 4 seasons. I didn't realize this until I started stitching it. It's spring, summer, fall, winter. So I'll put a picture up where I was, and this is where I am now. And this one has 6,400 stitches, and I'm at 1.72%. So I have forever to go. But here's that book I was talking about here, and then the key is, there's the top part of the key right there starting, and then it'll slant down this way. So you can kind of start seeing things. This is the first time I've done full coverage, like this kind of a large project. So I tried parking, I tried stitching the first, 10 by 10 block, and then moving to the next 10 by 10 block. All the fabric, all the threads drove me crazy. I have one parked right here. One parked thread is the only thing I have. And the only reason I have a parked thread is because I ran out of time this morning before I needed to start working, and I stuck it over there. So that's where I am. So this one, it just stays in the Q-snap. I know there's lots of controversy or different opinions about people who leave stuff in Q-snaps, take things out of Q-snaps every time. I'm leaving it in. It's going to be washed afterwards to get rid of the grid lines. So I'm leaving it in until I get this big old Q-snap filled up, and then I'll move it, which might be 5 years from now. Who knows? So who knows? But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay, next whip is, did that one, Santa's House, which is another one of the Fabulous House series, number 1. And on my last video, I talked about this one, how much I hated this fabric. Not hate it, that's a strong word. I don't like this fabric. It's very thick, and you can tell it definitely shrunk when it was hand dyed, and it's sparkly. It's just really hard for me to stitch on. I don't know, other people might love it. It's a 28 count, so far as size wise, I can see it fine. I just don't enjoy it. This is a pretty pattern. A lot of people stitching on it. And I did make a little progress. Oh, hold on, I'm dropping floss everywhere. I'll have a mess, a bigger mess. So this is where I am. I'll put a picture up here of where I was before. So I did get a little done. And yeah, I'm a thread lever. Oh well. So this is where I am. And I am making some changes. So in the original pattern, I'm gonna stitch the sleigh over here, but the deer, I'm gonna move over here to this side of the house. I am not doing all the trim, all the snowflakes. I don't like white stitching, so not doing it. So I'm gonna move the deer. So the sled will be on one side of the house, the deer will be on the other side of the house. I'm not doing the border, and call it done. So this one is at, I don't have a percentage on this one because it didn't load correctly into Markup RXP, which is my error, user error. So I don't know what this percentage is. And since I'm changing it around, I'm not doing all the stitching, I don't know what it is. So we'll just be surprised. All right, next is Mill Hill. So there are 28, maybe. All right, I had to sneeze. There are maybe 28 of these Mill Hill button and bead kits. Amanda Lucky Chance Stitcher was the first one I saw who had stitched these all on one gigantic piece of fabric, bed sheet size fabric, not really bed sheet, but tablecloth. It is gorgeous. And she's been working on it, I think 3 or 4 years. She was one of the first ones out of Floss Tube I that I started watching when I came back to stitching. And when I saw this, I was like, I have to stitch this. So I started collecting all the kits and all that stuff. Started it. I actually stitched this one, showed it in my last video, that I didn't like the fabric it was on. So I completed just the cathedral, cut it out. It's in my finished pile to be fully finished. And I started this on a new piece of giant bedsheet fabric. So this is where I am so far. So I don't think I can put a picture up here because I may have already started it last time. I don't remember, but if you see a picture pop up, that's where I was last time. If not, I may not have one, I don't know. But anyway, this is as far as I got. This fabric is a 32 count Stormy Night. It's a printed fabric. So it's printed on one side that looks, like a Stormy Night. The back side of it's just plain gray. No, I take that back. It is not. This is a Bestitchme fabric too, because I ordered a fabric from Brandy. That's right. When I swapped, I ordered a fabric because that other fabric was too small. This fabric is 28 count something. I don't know if I have the name of it. But Brandy did help me because I bought a whole yard of it. I don't know the name of it, but if you want to know, it's in my last video, or I can let you know if you want to know. So that's where I'm at. I'm not beading as I go on this because this is going to be in Q-snap. And I think I can get 2 on here before I need to move the Q-snap. And I have 24. I think I have 24. I think I'm going to do 6 across and 4 down. I think that's how it worked out on this piece of fabric. I don't remember. when I take it out of the Q-snap, I'll try to remember to do my video whenever it comes out of the Q-snap and show you how big this fabric is. But right now, it's just rolled up and stuffed up behind. So, till I get there. So that's where that one is. And, oh, I have 3 new starts, not 2. Okay, well, you're still going to get to see them. Next one is Lady Halloween by Jardin prive. I started this one last year sometime, I don't remember. And I'm at 25.47%. On my last video, this one, I was showing where I had to frog out the witch's hat and it had left, you know, a residue behind, but I did fix it, so you'll get to see it in this one. And this one is stitched on 28 count sorbet by Bestitchme. So Brandy, you're getting a lot of advertisement from me, girlfriend. So here is where I'm at. The fabric is a very pinky, peachy, orangey. Hold on. It just got really cloudy here. It's supposed to rain the rest of the day, so it just got really dark. So it's not a true representation, but you can see a little bit of the modeling. But I did fix her hat. I extended it widthwise about 3 or 4 stitches, and the brim of her hat was 1 row, and I extended it to 2 rows, and I adjusted her hair. And I took a little creative liberty and licensing with a few stitches, and no one will ever know but me, you, and the world of YouTube. So this is where I am. I want to get her finished before Halloween. Also, I'd like to have a nice stitching Halloween display this year. So hopefully I'll get her finished. I'll get my Zucca pumpkin finished, and then I'll have the round Halloween sampler. I'll get those 3 finished, and then I will have a really cute Halloween display this year. And that's where she stands. I wish this fabric showed up better. You kind of see it, yeah. It's got a lot of pinky peach in it. It's really a pretty fabric. Okay, next is Quaker Summer by Lila Studio. I was sitting here looking at it and didn't remember the name of it. And I know everybody has seen this. A lot of people have stitched this. It is gorgeous. I love it. Laura at Stitching by the Shore is the first one I saw that was stitching it. And since I live at the beach, I said, I have to stitch that. Those motifs are larger than you think. So I am stitching this on 32 count. I can never remember this fabric name. It is a printed fabric. It's big. Hang on. Let me do it upside down. There we go. It's a 32 count. There we go. That's pretty true to color. And I was stitching down here in the bottom corner. Hang on. Let me put this behind it. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I'm gonna get a real board one day, but you know. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yeah, you can see it better. I can hold on to it better. Okay. It's dark. I mean, it is really dark outside now. Really, really dark. There we go. That's perfect color. So I still have a long way to go on this one. I'd love to have this one hanging on my wall too, but you know. But I was stitching down here in the bottom corner. Those motifs are very large. Very, very large. And then I did part of the middle. I took this one to the retreat I went to in February with the intention of, you know, having this right here for fill in, which I don't remember if I did it at the retreat or not. I didn't stitch a whole lot at the retreat. That was the first one I'd ever been to and didn't know what to expect. And I didn't get as much stitching. Of course, everybody says that. You don't get as much as you think you will. But anyway, this one's really pretty. And you can see how much extra fabric I mean, it's just rolled up here. So I don't know. I think this might have been a yard also. And I haven't cut it yet. So as soon as I get the other side done a little bit better, I will cut it. All right. What's next? This one is at 18.9%. It's like a long way to go. My Halloween cat. Oh, this one is a Satsuma. Satsuma Street. Is that the name of them? Oh. And here's the picture of that. Oh, come on. There we go. Satsuma Street. I don't know how I got on such a Halloween kick, but I did last year. So maybe I'll get this one finished also. And I'll have a lot of Halloween stitching to show off. So that's that one. And it's stitched on 28 count periwinkle also. It's the other half to that, my round sampler that I finished. This is the other half of that fabric. And it's, yeah, there we go. It's purple like that. Very, very purple. So I'll put a picture up of what it looked like before. But it's a fun stitch. It's a lot of block stitching, so it's easy. It's an easy stitch late in the evening when you're tired and you don't want to have to count a lot, and you can just block stitch. So it's, I really like working on this one. So hopefully I'll get it finished soon also. Don't we say that about every one of them? This one is at 28.9%. So I think that's all of my whips that everybody has seen, and now new starts. I have three. So in my last video I talked about that I just had a birthday in March. I turned 60. Since the last video I recorded, my husband and I celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary. So yeah, we were babies when we got married. I was 20 and he was 21. So we just celebrated 40 years. And so I wanted a new birthday start and I wanted an anniversary start since they were kind of milestones. 60 birthday, 40 anniversary. I couldn't decide in March what I wanted to start, but I had something in mind. Didn't have everything together, so I finally got all my fabric, floss, and all that good stuff, got it together, so I started that. And then Heaven and Earth had a sale sometime during that month, and I kept looking, and I found this one. I may have showed it last time on my video, if it was a haul, I can't remember. But I did start it on our anniversary. And then on my video last time too, I talked about a Junonia shell. And I had an older chart that I bought at the thrift store. And the more I looked through it, the more I realized, I like this. I'm going to do, so I started a Junonia shell. So it's kind of, all of them are either like birthday, anniversary, or they just had some meaning to me. So I'll show you those. Let's see, where is Junonia? So this Junonia, this book is, it's very old. Well, I don't say very old because I'm not that old. I don't say I'm that old. In 1979. So this is, I showed this on my last video. I think I bought it at the thrift store for maybe 50 cents, $1, don't remember. A really good friend of mine just passed away, and she was a big pelican fan. She loved pelicans. And so when I saw this, I got it because of her. And then I realized this is the Junonia shell. You can see it better on the back. This is the Junonia shell. It's not a rare shell, but it's a deep water shell. So you don't see them, you don't find them just usually floating up on the beach or roll up on the shore. I have several because I've collected shells for a long time. Also, this book, Annie's Designs in Panama City, Florida, that's where I live. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, gotta have the chart, even though it's very old, but it has a lot of meaning to me. So I started this shell. I think this is needlepoint because the background is all stitched. The one on the front is cross stitch, but I'm not going to show you charts, but I'm going to show you part of this chart. Not, let's see if I can, You can see it's all hand. It's a hand-drawn chart. It's kind of funny, but you know, in 1979 there was not computer programs to do charting. So anyway, I don't know if this designer, Annie's Designs, I don't know if she is still, I don't think she still designs. I don't know her. Panama City is not a very big town as far as like local people that live here. It's a huge tourist area on the Gulf Coast, but I don't know. And there's a lot of people mentioned inside the book that help, you know, like model stitching and photography and all that. Don't know any of them, but I'd love to know. And I actually found another one of their books at the Salvation Army store one day this week. I think it was butterflies, but I didn't know it was hers until I got home and looked at it, and it's the same. I'll show it to you in a little while when I do haul. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting that I didn't know anybody. I didn't know there was a designer that lived here. Don't know. She may not even still be living. I don't know. I have no idea. What bag did I have it in now? There we go. Okay. And it's a very small. So that's part of the shell. I haven't gotten the bottom lip done yet, but that's my new start and current progress. So it'll probably be a small, I'll probably make it into a small pillow when I'm done. This is on 28 count frost, I think is the name of this. It was just a scrap I had. So I think this will be so cute when I get done. So that is my Junonia shell. I have a couple friends that may get one of those stitched at some point. Don't know. My birthday start. So I drive a Jeep. I've always wanted one. I talked about this in my very first video. When I was a teenager, I wanted a Jeep, and my parents were adamantly opposed. I can understand why now. When I was 17, I probably wasn't responsible enough to have a Jeep. So anyway, 3 years ago, 6 years ago, we lost our house to a hurricane, and the car was in the garage. I lost my car. I bought a truck. We needed a truck at the time. I bought a truck and just didn't really like it that much. I mean, I loved it. It was a beautiful truck, but I always wanted a Jeep. So finally, after COVID was over with, and I was tired of driving the truck. It was too big. I had trouble parking it. I told my husband, I said, I'm just going to buy a Jeep. My cousin had bought a Jeep. My brother bought a Jeep. A friend that I work with bought a Jeep. And I said, okay, it's time for Robin to buy a Jeep too. So I bought a Jeep. It's blue. And so for my birthday start, when I saw this chart, I said, that is the perfect picture for me at my age and a Jeep. So here we go. This was my birthday start. And that's exactly how you feel when you're driving your Jeep with the top down. Although it's not at the beach, which I'd rather have been at the beach. It is kind of the mountains, but I'm not stitching that background from the top of the Jeep up through her arms. I'm not stitching all that because it's kind of a gray clouds. So I just found a fabric. This is a full coverage. It's actually all the way around. This picture doesn't show it. I think on the original photo it does show it, but it doesn't show it on here. But it is round. It is symmetrical round. But I'm not stitching the top of it with all the clouds. I have a cloud background. Hang on, I'll show it a better picture of it. Somewhere, do I have it? Yes. And I don't have very much of a start on it, but I did get a little start on it. Which way is up, Robin? This way. So that's as far as I got. But you can see this model fabric. This is Volcano fabric. Is that the name of Volcano Stitching? One of their hand-dyed fabrics. This is a 16 count Aida. Or 18 count. 18 count. It's an 18 count Aida. I haven't stitched on Aida in a while, but this is a really, it's not real crunchy and it's not real floppy. It's really a good Aida. And now that I have 60-year-old eyes, it sure is a lot easier to see it says 18 count. Now that my eyes are 60 years old, it's a lot easier to see 18 count than it is smaller count. I can't stitch on 40 count. I can stitch on 32. I cannot stitch on anything smaller. 36, 40, 46. I watch YouTubers, and of course all these girls are younger than me. They're all young enough to be my daughters, I'm sure. You know, I ordered 46 count, and I'm thinking, I can't see those holes, so I'm just not fighting with it. So I got this. I ordered a Lowry stand for my birthday also. So when I got it, I ordered it from Amazon, from Volcano Stitching, and they included a piece of hand-dyed fabric with my order. So I got this, and I thought, well, I'll just try it and see. So I think this will work out good for the cloud part at the top, and then I don't have to stitch all that. Let's see. Here's the original picture. iPads are wonderful when they work, aren't they? So you can see it is a true circle at the top. Okay, it doesn't want to cooperate, but you can see. So I'm not stitching from some of this above her. So I think that'll be fun. I don't know. Maybe I'll finish it before I'm 61. Maybe. 65, maybe. We'll see. Okay, put that one back up. And then my third new start was my anniversary start. And it is Heaven and Earth Designs Yin Yang Earthly Friends by artwork is Malcolm Watson. So when I saw this one, I was like, that is just gorgeous. All the beach, all the tropical animals. It's funny that both my new starts were round. And it's funny how you gravitate towards something like, last year I gravitated toward Halloween stitching. This year I'm gravitating towards round projects. It's funny how you gravitate things like that. And everybody's different. Glad there's lots of things to stitch out there. So this is Yin Yang Earthly Animals by Heaven and Earth. And of course I just have a very tiny start. I have, I started in the middle, in the center on this, because since it was round, I didn't trust my counting to start in the upper left since it's a round pattern. So I have a giant piece of fabric again that's all rolled up under here. And I folded it, found the middle, started in the middle. And the center is, that's the heron bird. That's his head right there. Where's my, so you can see. I need more hands. See at the top, that's the top of his head. So that's where I started. So this one has, oh, sorry. Camera. This one has 321,000 plus stitches, and I'm at 0.3%, so not even 1% yet. But I just started, so it's fun. I think that's all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. That's all my whips. Okay, we're good. I thought it would be more than that, but I think that's all. I counted them all. Yep, that's it. So now I'll show you my haul. It's not tons of haul, but I did go to Joann. Our Joann Fabrics is, of course, they're all going out of business. But they restocked their floss, and some of their items have been restocked. So I got a whole bag of DMC, which everybody knows what that looks like. I got some rip-rack for finishing. And everything at our Joann's is either 50% off. Most of it was 50% off. I think there's some things that are 70. I don't know what it was. Almost all the beads were gone. Yarn was 70% off, I think. I'm not a knitter or crocheter. I do buy some yarn for finishing, but I didn't need any. I kind of glanced through it, but I didn't buy any. Bought a needle minder. That's the shape of a hoop. So this was $5.99, so it was marked down. It was half price. And it's so cute. It's a big one too. It's actually a big needle minder. Isn't that cute? I don't use needle minders that much because it makes your fabric heavy. I do it on some things, but it does make your fabric heavy, but I like to collect them. I think we all do. I bought some straight pins that have, is that going to focus? Probably looking at my face. They're buttons and bobbins, floss bobbins. Let's see if I can take one out. This little package was so hard to open the other day. I tried to open it. I don't think I have anything I can put here. Let me see if I can use that behind it. There we go. You can see it's a, one is a button, one's a floss bobbin. So there's 50 in a package. So I don't know what I'll do with all 50 of them, but if you go to a retreat with me next time, you might get some pins. Oh, also I got this. It's a patch. It's supposed to be an iron-on, but all of these that I've ever bought, you iron them on, but they don't stick, so I end up sewing them on. So I'm going to put this on either a hat, like I did this one, or, I don't know, I wear hats in the summertime all the time just because it's hot. I live in Florida. And then I have seen these hoop frames. It was $8.99, but they were half price, so it was $4.50. Anyway, it's a 6-inch hoop, and you can see where your hoop, you know, the screw top on a hoop, you just pop it in there. So they had an entire wall of these, and I think I'm going to go back and get a couple more. I'll use them for framing when I hit 1,000 subscribers, which I'm a long way away. I'm kind of gathering stuff to do a giveaway. Hopefully it won't be too long, but I'm a long way from there. But anyway, when I hit a milestone, I'm going to have a bigger giveaway. So I think I'm going to go back and get a couple of these. I bought a couple of hoops. Oh, this is the hoop. Sorry, I was going to show you the hoop. This is the hoop. It's a 6-inch. So this is how it would fit in there. Once you get your stitching finished, you just stick it in there. And then you can interchange. So this is not big enough for my Halloween that I finished, but same concept. I bought these 2 oval hoops just because they had a whole wall of these 2. These are 6 inches, but I like the oval. They'll make cute little finishes. I think that's all I got at Joann's. And then I got some Gentle Art sampler threads. I was in a thread of the month club somewhere, and I can't remember where. I can't remember who it was. They sent it in this cute little pink bag. But I don't know how I signed up for it. I don't remember signing up for it. I'm sure I did at some point, but I only did it 1 month. So I would like to start a silk. I don't have anything else put in front of that. Anyway, you can see what colors those are. I would like to do a silk floss of the month, but I haven't found one yet that I want to join. So anyway, that was Gentle Arts. So I got those, and those are all my, you know, it's hard to point when you're doing this. Those are all my fancy flosses over there. I don't have a whole lot. I do have a lot of the Gentle Arts. Some of them are very old when I stitched prior to 2012-ish. So I took a break from 2012 to 2024. So a lot of those are prior to that. So the dye lots have changed. So I'm trying to build up some more. But anyway, I didn't do a floss of the month. I only did 1 month. And then I found some vintage older charts at Salvation Army. So I ended up with Just Cross Stitch magazine from 2013. It's got somebody's address on it, so I'll keep my hand over it. All the patterns are intact. So I got that one. Dog Bone Wisdom from Stony Creek. This may be a giveaway. Butterflies, 1979, and this is from Annie's from Panama City. So cute butterflies. Stars of the North, all polar bears. Never heard of this. It's Craftways. I've never heard. I've been stitching since I was in middle schoolish, 14, 15. This is from 1984. But it's really cute. Cute polar bears. Very cute. This one right here, to me, that one's really cute. And that right there, look how sweet that is. Look, he's looking at the moon, how sweet that is. Don't know if I will ever stitch anything out of there. This is Jeanette Cruz. Nautical bathroom. Just a lot of nautical sailboats. An alphabet that was an insert, a supplement for the Love of Cross Stitch magazine, and it's just, I'm not going to show you charts, but you know, it's just different alphabets. Blah, 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 blah. Imaginating Ink. This is Summer Maggie Butts. This was so cute. Even though I love beach stitching, she's not my style, but she's cute. So I couldn't leave her behind. Animal Magnetism, Cross My Heart, 1994. I like this, the dolphin right here. It's cute. I think there's 12 animals in here because it was an Afghan, you know. This was a thing for a long time. I think there's 12 different designs in here. Another Just Cross Stitch from 1999 with Teresa Wentzler on the cover. I used to have every issue of Just Cross Stitch, every issue, until about 2015. I stopped subscribing, and that's when I had stopped stitching. So I either sold, gave away, donated. I've bought a few now. I don't intend to buy all of them ever, but if there's a chart in there that I like, I will. If I find it secondhand, I'll pick it up. But I had them all at one time. Oh, I did get this at Joann's. This is a Lori Hope pattern from It's So Emma. I've never seen this before. I knew Joann's had a few of Lori Hope patterns, but I'd never seen this one. It's cute though. Snowballs for Sale. It's all DMC. And it was $9.99 regular, but it was half price. So this is a cutie. No really plans to stitch it. Another Craftways bears. Cute little bears. Vintage bears. This one's cute. The swan. I know swans are real big right now. And the bear's riding the swan. I think this is 1985. I think that's what it said. Yeah, 1985. Little vintage bears. More bears. Very cute collection. I like the back of it better. Those ducks are so cute. They're so cute. There's a Halloween in there that's really cute. This is the witch. Another sailboat regatta for the sailboats. I like those. I may stitch that one at the top someday. Maybe. And then the last one I found at Salvation Army was a Heaven and Earth Designs. I've never seen a paper chart from Heaven and Earth Designs because I never stitched one of theirs when they first came out back in, what, early 2000s maybe? Because I remember when they came out and their full coverage patterns were just huge. And of course they still are, but I just thought, I'll never stitch anything like that. And a lot of them look so much like photographs that was not my style. This one's not my style either. This is going to be a giveaway, but it is a dragon. Can you see? It's kind of dark. Let me take it out of this. So I can get out of this plastic without crinkly too much. I'll just take the first sheet out. Here we go. It's a dragon with a book, and it says the history of chocolate. So, and all the pages were there. The chart's never been used. And I think this pattern, I think Heaven and Earth, it may be retired now because a lot of times they'll retire patterns, but it was like a whole shelf of books with the dragons, and it was different, whatever the titles were. But this must be one of their minis or SK. I don't know what SK means, because they have minis, they have max color, regular color. Maybe that means skinny. I don't know. I don't know what it means, but anyway. But this is going to be a giveaway. I'm not a dragon stitcher. They're cute, but not my style. I think that's it. I'll put that back in there. It's too crinkly. I think that's all. That was a quick video, quick update. If that's all you came for, thanks for joining. Life update. Just been working more. All I do is work, seems like. Going to see my mom tomorrow. My dad passed away in December, so my mom lives in Alabama, so I'm leaving tomorrow to go visit her for Mother's Day. My husband went to Georgia to see his mom. We have to tag team sometimes. His mom's 88, my mom's 82, and his mom, she's does great. She doesn't drive any longer, but he had to go. She lives with my husband's sister, and she had my sister-in-law had to go out of town, so he had to go visit his mom. And then my mom said, "Are you coming for Mother's Day?" So I'm going for Mother's Day. She only lives, it's about 4 hours to my mom, so it's not far. So I'm going there to visit for the weekend, and that's it. Just gonna visit. My brother lives in the same town as my mom, and he has 9 children and 5 grandchildren and 1 on the way. And I'm gonna go be surrounded with lots of babies tomorrow, and won't get to see our daughter for Mother's Day. She lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're in Florida. But I did talk to her a few minutes ago. She's a nurse, so she was headed to work. It's night shift. She's a night shift nurse, so she was headed to work. So we'll get to see her. I think in July we get to see her. She, we try to go visit her once a year. Sometimes she comes home once a year, or they come home. Her and her guy. So he's a good guy, and they'll come home once a year. So we usually get to see her maybe twice a year. That's best we can do with her so far away, but that's okay. Glad she's happy and healthy, and that's all I can ask for. So, but I think that's all I have. I'll try to come back maybe 4 more weeks. I'd like to get it towards the end of the month, or the first of June. We do have relatives coming in June a couple times. We live at the beach. We have company in the summer. Everybody calls or texts and says, "I need reservations." I have a guest bedroom, and it's usually full 3 weekends out of the year in the summer, so, which is fine. We love when our family and friends come visit, and we enjoy that we can share our home and our beautiful beach with our family and friends. So, all right, that's all I got. I will check in with you guys in a few weeks, and thanks for coming. Bye. Hey, I'm going to do the giveaway for the mermaid fabric and floss. So I have it on a little decision wheel. So I'm going to spin the wheel. Let's see who the winner is. Mary Lou Benyo, I don't know how you say your last name. Mary Lou, if you will, I will tag you on Facebook. No, on YouTube. I'll tag you on FlossTube the comment that you left. And I'll put my email down below in the description box. If you'll just get in touch with me, I will send it out to you. Thanks.